Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting's coverage of the Original Rebels Racing League Outlaw Truck Series here from Iowa Speedway. My name is Josh Hall. Thanks for coming out and joining us tonight. And we're going to be looking at an exciting short track here tonight. After last week, we saw a great finish at Kentucky. It's Eddie Smith dominating the race, taking home the win. Clint Rice coming home second, Andrew Kurtz third, Jamie Mullins and Adam Lang. Adam Lang running a great strategy, staying out on a long time, making up a lot of positions to take over that fifth position. And tonight here at Iowa, short track, very similar in shape and feel to me. I feel like a Richmond. So it should be a great race, a lot of racing, a lot of side-by-side racing we'll see. The track is wide enough to allow for some great racing as we see these guys out on track right now, making some laps. The paint scheme contest, or not really contest, but theme that they wanted to run tonight was college football teams. I did see a couple out there. Let's see if we can find one. There's one right there. There's an LSU truck being passed by the Clemson truck. So a couple of college football team paint jobs out there tonight. Hopefully we'll see a Michigan paint job go blue. But we got about 3 minutes left in practice. I'm sorry I don't have a graphic up for the point standings, but I can tell you that Steve Loving is currently in the lead with a 2-point advantage over Tracy Passons. Then Jason Rockefeller sitting back there 3 points off the lead. And then Michael Kosick back in fourth. And about 44 points back. So big jump from third to fourth, but right now a tight battle as only 3 points separate the top three in points early in the season. See if we see any other paint jobs out there. You see John Schmiel running a great looking Penn State car. And Keith Meller. Oh, that's not a college football team. And just taking a peek around, see if we see any other college paint jobs out there. Well, here's one. There's an Old Miss truck being driven by Eric Burkhalter. So we do have a couple paint jobs out there tonight, and looking forward to this exciting race here at Iowa. Don't forget to join us after this, as we're going to have the Original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series at 10 p.m. Eastern, which will also be a good one. Another tight battle in the points there. And don't forget to join us the rest of the week, as our iOS series all are in their championship week this week. With the ARCA series finishing their series up at Charlotte, and then the Cup and Truck series finishing their season at Phoenix. Also, we got the SESRA Dirt Series Tuesday night before the iOS Cup. Don't forget about your Thunderstruck League on Thursdays, and also the LNS late models on Wednesdays. So the iOS Xfinity Series is taking a few weeks off, so we'll see them back in a few weeks. Is there a way to watch a particular truck? Unfortunately, there is not. Unless you're on the iRacing service yourself, and you can tune in and watch whatever truck you'd like. But fortunately, this broadcast, we have to broadcast everybody out on track. So we got about 30 seconds left before qualifying starts up here. at Iowa here in the Original Rebels Racing League. Brought to you by Mesa Motorsports. And Jonathan Kober, right at the top of the stores, at the top of the board right now, with Adam Lang sitting in second and Dustin Stewart third fastest in practice, but fortunately this is just practice. As we have about 4 seconds left before we get qualifying underway. JJ Outdoors says, who's your pick tonight? Let me know in the chat who you guys' pick is tonight. Right now, looking at the speed charts and looking at how people are running, I think I'm going to have to go with Adam Lang tonight. Adam Lang had a great finish last week. Out on old tires. If we get a long green flag run, he'll be one to watch for. Let's not forget about Jason Rockefeller, who's second in points right now. Always has a strong truck. Looks good at the short track, so he'd be another one. And if Eddie Smith is in here, which he is, he'd be another one to watch out for tonight, as Eddie was fast last week. Let's see if Eddie can make it 2 in a row this week. We see Eddie Smith on track right now, starting his qualifying attempt.
I didn't get that.
Oh, as Siri thought I was talking to her. Do apologize for my my watch thinking I was talking to that. See in the chat here, we see Corey Bragg says, let's go Ryan Huff, Evil Eye Empire Sim Sports. Zach Brashear 20 says, hello. Douglas County says, let's go Lanford. JJ Outdoors says, Eddie's always tough to beat. I think it'll be him or Rice. It'll be tough, as right now, Eddie Smith to the top of the board. Tracy Passions was in second. Now Jeremy Burrell and James Jones overtake Eddie Smith, but again, that's just the first lap, and Eddie puts down a 23.66. Jay Burrell with a 23.81. So already 0.2 faster Eddie Smith is than the rest of the field right now. Steve McDonald just finishing his lap, up to third. James Jones up to fourth. Let's take a look at Jason Rockefeller. Travis Bieber jumps up into the second spot in the 114 truck. See Rockefeller. Oh, Rockefeller gets loose coming off of turn 4. That's going to kill his time. Eric Burkhalter out on track in that old Miss truck. Comes across the line. And this is going to be his first lap right here, as we see him not quite down on that yellow line. Kind of keeping it in the middle of the track. Down the front stretch and across the line. And Burkhalter's first lap is going to be a 24.29, which right now is going to be good enough for 19th. A second lap, though, right down on that yellow line. Shortest way around the track, trying to find all the grip down there he can. Across the line. He's going to move up into the 14th position. See Brandon Pollock on track. In that cookies machine. See out here we got Zach Brashear saying, let's go Lanford. Amber Adcock Beal says, let's go Uncle Tracy Passons. And Tyler DeTalent says, let's go Ryan Huff, Evil Empire. Brandon Pollock up into the 6th position. So a great run, great qualifying attempt for that one truck. See Jerry Kershaw out on track. So Fry Hubbard and Steve Loving. So our point leader out on track as well. You see about 5.5 minutes left in qualifying. Matt Kleeman also heading out on track at this time. As Jerry Kershaw is going to come across the line here. Oh, I'm sorry, coming off of turn number 4 right now. This is going to be his second timed lap here. And this is going to move him up into 23rd. As I mentioned, Fry Hubbard out on track. See Steve Loving up to the 14th position on his first lap. And looks like that's where he's going to stay. Adam Lang was fast in qualifying, or in practice, I should say, in that Ball State machine, out on track. He comes across the line. That's going to be a 24-28. Let's see what he can do here on his second lap. See him all the way down on that yellow line. Oh, and he loses it. And that is going to do it for his qualifying attempt, as he's going to be starting back in the back again like he did last week. Let's see if he's able to push himself through the field. Here's Greg Froelich out on track. Greg ran a 24-29 on his first lap. See what he can do here on his second lap. 23.97, move him up into the 18th position. Looks like still a few trucks left to qualify. Keith Miller, Tevin Wintner, Matt Knights, Ryan Huff. We saw Rockefeller went out there and spun out on his qualifying attempt. But still just over 3 minutes left to qualify, and it only takes about a minute and a half or so to get out there and get your qualifying done. So there are a couple trucks that might be kind of hanging back right now. Yeah, we want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and spending your Sunday night here on Intensity Broadcasting with the Original Rebels Racing League. Again, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Drop us a like. Let us know what you like what you see. And again, if you haven't already, let us know who you're rooting for tonight here in this outlaw race. So we got about just under 2.5 minutes before we get ready to go green flag racing. And as it sits right now, Chris McLean in the 05 sitting on pole. He was able to bump Eddie Smith out of that pole position, but only by 3/100ths of a second. Sam Bumgarden says, good luck, Ryan Huff. So quite a few Ryan Huff fans out there tonight. As of right now, Ryan Huff is not qualified yet, so we'll see if he plans on qualifying. If he's going to, he's going to have to do it now, as we have just over a minute and a half left. But it might be he's trying to start from the back tonight to move himself to the front, give himself a little bit of a challenge. John Smeal says, we are Penn State, number 50 Smeal. Good looking truck that John has out there tonight. And I'll have to see where he brings that Penn State truck home at the end of the race tonight after this 110 laps here at Iowa Speedway. Sorry, 118 laps here at Iowa Speedway. Forget next week we move on to Texas, then Chicagoland, then one of my favorite tracks, Talladega, then on to Michigan, another one of my favorite tracks. Then we'll have Auto Club for the All-Star race on October 10th. We will not be around on September 5th as we will be taking the weekend off for the holiday. Then after Auto Club on October 10th starts the playoff, the round of 16 on October 17th at North Wilkesboro. Then the 24th at Kansas. We'll skip a week due to Halloween. Let those kids enjoy their Halloween. Then November 7th at Phoenix. Then we'll round out the season with the Final Four at Las Vegas. Corey Bragg says, let's go Ryan, Evil Empire Motorsports. Qualifying has completed. So let's take a look at the starting grid. And your pole sitter tonight, the number 5 of Chris McLean. Outside of him, the 87 of Eddie Smith. Travis Bieber in the 114. He'll be rolling off third with Daniel Stewart in the 09 to his outside. You'll find Michael Kosick in the 04 with Brandon Pollock to his outside of row number 3. The 66 of Jamie Mullins rolling off in 7th with Jeremy Burrow in the 74 to his outside. Then Joshua Thompson, the 33, and Steve McDonald in the 68 round out row number 5. Row 6 will find the 10 of James Jones and the 22 of Ricky Montgomery. Then Matt Kleeman and Tracy Passons back there in row number 7. Our points leader, Steve Loving, rolling off in the 15th position. And Ryan Derrick in that Clemson machine rolling off in 16th. Aaron Mack in the 31. He'll be rolling off 17th with Greg Froelich to his outside. Then Fry Hubbard and Eric Burkhalter in that Old Miss machine rolling off in 20th. Jonah Colbert starting way back in the 21st position with Charlie Gates Jr. in the OU machine starting in 22nd. Andy Kurtz in the 48. He'll be starting off 23rd with Phil the Hitman Manzo in the Boston State Eagles machine sitting in 24th. Colton Lanford be rolling off 25th with Jerry Kershaw to his outside in 26th. Then John Smeal and Adam Lang, followed by Mike Morcrid and Mike Barossa Jr. in row 15. Jason Rockefeller starting way back in row 16 with Keith Miller to his outside. Then Ryan Huff, Matt Knights, and Tevin Whitaker rounding out the field. But up front, Chris McLean is your pole sitter, knocking Eddie Smith off that front row starting spot. Real quick in this chat here, we see Scott Adcock says, let's go. Paul Passons is watching, and Scott Adcock says, let's go, Tracy Passons. Get to the front. Tracy's got a little bit of work to do tonight as he's starting back in the 14th position. I do apologize. Chris McLean has won the Peg Leg Felts Pole Award. I forgot to put the graphic up on the screen. As the pace truck gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road, Chris McLean's going to lead him down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. And we're racing here at Iowa, and a great jump already for McLean, who gets about a car length and a half in front of Travis Bieber, and that keeps Eddie Smith trapped up on that high side right now as they come off too. Oh, the one car of Brandon Pollock almost around, able to hold on to it, but he's going to lose a ton of positions here. But a great save for him. And back up front, Chris McLean is going to be the first one to lead a lap here as the yellow flag is out already. It looks like John Smeal in that Penn State machine spun around backwards on the backstretch, and that's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we see what happened here. And actually, it looks like it actually started back here with Ryan Huff. So let's take a look here, see what happened to the 73 of Ryan Huff. Oh, no, it did not happen that way. It looks like John Smeal has some issues before that. Oh, Smeal, looks like he bounced off the apron a little bit and then just lost it, overcorrected it hard into the wall. Gets the 46 machine of Mike Morkrid. Ryan Huff goes through the grass to avoid, and already Schmiel has to use his toe here. That's a tough break for him, as that's going to cost him at least a lap here. So Chris McLean still your leader here. Eddie Smith falling back to third on the restart, but he'll be starting on that inside lane. We'll see what kind of advantage that inside lane is really going to have here on these restarts. We already saw it with Travis Bieber getting a great jump there to move himself into second place. So it'll be interesting to see what Eddie Smith can do on this restart. See if he can get that position back from Bieber. One big mover already, Eric Burkhalter, and this old Mish machine. Started in 20th, already up to 15th, so making 5 positions up since the drop of the green flag. So that's a big mover we have so far already. Looks like we're going to go one more lap before the lights on the pace truck go off. John Smeal did leave pit road with a fresh truck. It looks like he's going to be a couple laps down here. He's going to be at least three laps down here. But a couple cautions. He stays out of trouble. He can get himself right back up there with a couple lucky dogs. Saw the lights on pit road are red, which means that the lights on the pace truck are about to turn off. We're about to go back green flag racing here at Iowa Speedway. Chris McLean chooses the inside for the restart, putting Travis Bieber, sorry, I almost said Justin Bieber, my mistake. Travis Bieber up on the high side. And Eddie Smith down in third, so we'll have to see if that inside lane is the dominant lane. Or if Bieber can get a good launch on that high side to keep propelling himself forward. As we get ready for the restart here, the pace truck's getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And green flag's back in the air, and a great jump again for our leader, Chris McLean. And you see Eddie Smith now working that inside lane, trying to get around Travis Bieber, but Travis is going to fight hard back on the outside. Here comes the 09 Daniel Stewart. He's trying to get involved in this little battle here, as Eddie Smith has the preferred line down on the bottom, the shortest way around the track. As they come off of turn number 4, oh, Bieber almost gets up into the wall. He's able to hold on to it, though, as they're still side by side going into turn number 1. Now Eddie Smith has a little bit of advantage. I believe he's going to slide up here in front of Bieber, which he does, and take away that second position. Looks like Bieber is going to cross him over, which he tries to cross him over, but he's just not there to make that move. That's going to allow Eddie Smith to take over full control of that second position. Now Daniel Stewart up on the high side. He's taking a look around Bieber for a second, but thought better of it. And he tucks back in behind. A little further back, we got a little battle back here between Joshua Thompson and James Jones. As they're side by side, you got Steve Loving, our points leader, in the mix right here as well. Just behind them, the 22 of Ricky Montgomery has a little pressure from the 68 of Steve McDonald as they come through the front stretch and into turn number 1. And move James Jones around Josh Thompson. Here comes Loving back on the outside. Loving's going to take over that 9th position. And he's going to continue to move himself forward here as he's starting to look to the inside of James Jones, but just not there yet. Little battle back here between Steve McDonald and Matt Kleeman now. Again, we're not seeing that high side coming in just yet. But Kleeman gets a good run off the corner to get there. McLean now under pressure from Eddie Smith. Eddie's caught him. And Eddie's looking to the bottom side, low side, but just not able to make the move as they come into turns 1 and 2. Eddie Smith actually falls back just a little bit off of Chris McLean. As Chris is running a little bit higher lane through 3 and 4 than everybody else, and it looks like he's making it work right now. As Eddie's just not able to get there. A little further back, we see Joshua Thompson going back around James Jones, trying to take over that 9th position as Steve Loving's moved himself up into 8th. Great battle side by side with these two as they rocket down the backstretch. And yellow flag is out. It looks like Colton Lanford spun around in turn number 2 in that LSU car, and that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind as we see what happens to Colton Lanford here. Looks like he was in a bit of a battle back here. Up on the high side, 3 wide with Hitman Manzo and Greg Froelich, and I just don't think that he realized that Manzo was going to be that low. Oh, and here comes Rockefeller, who had a bad run last week. Oh, hard contact with the 01. The 43 gets involved as well. Mike Barossa Jr., and man, that is not the run that Rockefeller was hoping to have, as after he had a somewhat rough start last week. It's going to dig him a little deeper into the hole. But then you get a lot of time to get your damage fixed and get back out there. This also gives an opportunity for Eddie Smith to kind of regather his thoughts and try to set his sights back on Chris McLean, but he's going to be restarting again on the outside. And we saw that outside not being the place you really want to restart, as both times our second place truck have not gotten a great jump and have gotten past. We saw our lucky dog coming around. Looks like that was that was the 46 of Mike Morcrid, our lucky dog candidate. So he's going to get back onto the lead lap. And Chris McLean is going to continue to lead. Also, we want to not forget our awesome sponsors of the leagues here, especially our Outlaw Truck Series here, brought to you by Mesa Motorsports, Shappy Edits, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Smeal Racing Designs, Magic Mike Motorsports, Peg Leg Felts with the Peg Leg 75 Pole Award. We got Seth Griffith also being a league sponsor as well. Also want to shout out eRacing TV. If you're not familiar with eRacing TV, it's a free app that you can download for your Roku or your Fire Stick, and you can watch live e-racing 7 nights a week right there on your big screen without having to log on to your computer or picking up your tablet or phone. You just fire up your Roku or your Fire TV and type in eSpace Racing TV. It's a free download, and it's a great little app. I have it on my TV. I do watch it to watch the racing here on the big screen. Sometimes it's nice just to watch it on the big screen as opposed to having to watch it on your phone or your tablet. Especially if you're like some of these guys who have a real big, elaborate surround sound system and home theater. You know who you are. Jason Schuenbecher, I'm sorry, I murdered that one. But Jason says, "Go Ryan Huff, Evil Empire Simsport is rooting for you." Let's take a look at Ryan Huff right now. Ryan, currently up 9 spots, up into the 25th position. Seeing what he can do here as the race goes on. Was involved in that last one, but doesn't look like he's got any damage from it, so he's good to go as the pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. There he goes. Chris McLean leads him back down to the starting zone. Green flag is back in the air. Great jump again for our leader. And you see that inside lane getting the advantage again as Travis Bieber is looking to the inside of Eddie Smith, trying to take over that second position. Right behind him, Daniel Stewart in the 09, also trying to make his way through. As those two are battling side by side, it's allowing Chris McLean just to pull away. Daniel Stewart now right here in the mix. Here comes our points leader, Steve Loving, looking down to the inside of Daniel Stewart to take over that 4th position, and he'll get it here. And now Bieber has to tuck in behind Smith, and here comes Steve Loving. Looking to the inside, not able to get there. Just behind him, Jeremy Burrow in that 74. Trying to force a 3 wide. We see some smoke there. No yellow. Colton Lanford having some issues spinning through the infield, but able to gather it back up and get going. So no caution. Here comes Steve Loving now to the inside of Daniel Stewart. Stewart, though, gets a good run off the corner. Able to keep Loving behind him, and now Burrow is right here in the mix as Loving pushes up the track almost into Burrow. There's a great battle going on right here as we ride along with Steve Loving. As Burrow is going to look down to the inside now. And Steve Loving's able to get that little bit of a run on the high side. Great battle here between these two as you see Loving just able, gets a little pushy there in the corner. So a great battle between those two there, but it looks like Burrow is going to get the lead here. As now we see the 10 starting to make his way underneath Steve Loving. Up front, McLean and Eddie Smith going at it still. Eddie Smith trying to reel in that 05 machine with Travis Bieber sitting in third and Daniel Stewart up into the fourth position. Stewart having a great run here. He's running where he started, but not falling back. I know a few weeks ago he had a great run up front. It looked like he burnt off his stuff and just dropped like a rock to the back. Right now he's sitting solidly up in that top 5. He's got a little bit of a gap back to the 74 of Jeremy Burrell. In that Smeel Racing Designs truck, who's pulling away from Steve Loving. But right now, Chris McLean has a mirror full of Eddie Smith. As Eddie is able to pull right up onto the back bumper, but just not able to do anything with McLean right now. As we ride along with Eddie Smith, you can see the little bit different line that he's running. Just running a little bit lower here. And he gets a good run off the corner, but right now just looks like that high line is starting to work just a little bit better right now. Well, that's going on. Daniel Stewart was just on the back bumper of Travis Bieber, and now again a great run for that 09 machine. Taking a look, tried to take a look there, but Bieber was able to cut him off. So a fantastic run going on, a battle up front here. James Jones now and Matt Kleeman. Kleeman to the outside. Kleeman's going to move into the 6th position. He's going to be up 7 spots as now James Jones has a mirror full of Joshua Thompson. And Jamie Mullins coming through as well. Here comes Thompson down to the inside, trying to take that position away. Up front now, Eddie Smith looking to the inside of Chris McLean. He was just there for a moment, but McLean too strong. Up on that little bit higher side. And Steve Loving on the pit road. I don't know if this is a scheduled pit stop or... Oh, Steve Loving, a lot of damage to the right side of that car. Or excuse me, that truck. I believe he's going to have to use his reset here. See tires going on. It doesn't look like he's using his reset, so maybe not as much damage as he thought, but as we're working lap number 34, tires do go away pretty quickly here at Iowa. As we see Eddie Smith now, again, diving down to the bottom of Chris McLean, trying to take over the lead. But McLean just too strong up on that outside line. And while these guys are battling as hard as they are, they're still pulling away from 3rd place. As Daniel Stewart now is trying to get around Travis Bieber to take over that 3rd position. As Stewart gets a great jump, great run there, down to the inside. Move Daniel Stewart up into the 3rd position. But no crossover this time from Bieber. He's just going to tuck in behind. And see if these two can run down our 2 leaders as Chris McLean coming up on some lap traffic here. We got one spinning down to the inside lane. That was that Steve Loving? It was Steve Loving spinning our points leader. right in front of the leaders. No yellow flag is out. But that continues Steve Loving's tough luck here at Iowa as we see Eddie Smith now back to the bottom here of Chris McLean trying to take over the lead. But just not able to muscle enough of that truck to get on by. We see Trevor Burge on Facebook saying, let's go Eric Burkhalter. Eric Burkhalter currently sitting in the 16th position. Well, 17th, 16th, he's battling real hard right now as we see Burkhalter right here up on the high side in that old Mish machine. He's got the 34 of Jonah Cobart and Fry Hubbard in the mix as well, along with the 22 of Ricky Montgomery right there in front of him. So a great battle. Oh, we see in front, we see some contact made. One truck almost goes around. That's the 31 of Aaron Mack, able to hold on to it. So great view here from the blimp. Show what's going on all around the track here. Now that 31, after almost getting spun, starting to fall back just a little bit. As Burkhalter stuck on that high side now. Now they're going to go 3 wide. Almost 4 wide. As Jonah Colbert makes a big dive down to the bottom and take a 3-foot ride. Here comes Jason Rockefeller back here as well. Rockefeller trying to get his way back up to the front. After having some tough luck earlier in the race, getting involved in an incident, but he's battled his way back up to 18th. He's continuing to march his way forward. Adam Lang in that Ball State machine, battling right now with the 10 of James Jones. This is for 11th and 12th. So great battles all over the track. One battle that's really starting to heat up is the battle for the lead again between Chris McLean and Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith now down to the bottom. And he's able to stay there for a moment, but still, McLean too strong up on the outside. I wonder if Eddie's going to try to make a move on the outside one of these laps, because he's starting to see just how much stronger that 5 truck is on that high line as they're side by side yet again through turns 3 and 4. And McLean motoring on that high side to stay up in front of Eddie Smith. Still side by side. And Eddie Smith just cannot get by. He's doing everything he can, but just cannot make the move to get around that 5 truck. Eddie Smith has to give up there and tuck in behind the 05 of Chris McLean, but here he comes again, looking back down to the inside. Ooh, a little wiggle out of the 87. That's going to kill all his momentum here, so he's going to have to gather it up before he's going to be able to make another run at the lead. Adam Lang side by side with the 04 of Michael Kosick. This is for 10th place. Adam Lang's going to move himself currently up 18 positions from where he started up into the top 10. Jason Rockefeller up on that high side, trying to get around Eric Burkhalter. Just got around James Jones, and now Rockefeller up 18 spots as well, up into the 13th position. Again, side by side here for the lead, as Chris McLean and Eddie Smith are still battling for it. But Eddie Smith cannot get the momentum on that bottom side get around the 05, who's been so strong, just running a half a lane up. Not really pinching it down to burn off that right front. He's running a little bit up to keep that momentum up off the corner, and that's a great way to run this track, because it really allows you to keep that momentum and not hurt your tires. A little bit further back, we got a little battle shaping up here for the 5th position. As you see Travis Bieber with a mirror full of Jamie Mullins. Mullins makes a move down to the inside. And he's going to be able to, no, he's not. He's going to have to ride side by side here down the backstretch. Well, it looks like Burrell's going to have the power here. As again, side by side for the lead. I wish I could split screen and show you two battles going on at once. But this right here is the battle for the lead. As the leaders are coming up on some lap traffic here. We'll have to see if the lap traffic plays any factor in. As Eddie Smith almost slides up into the side of the 5. But Chris McLean able to hold on to the lead for now. These guys are racing like it's the last lap, and we haven't even hit halfway yet. As we're coming up on the lap car of Mike Morcred. Is the lap car going to be a factor here in this battle for the lead? So we see the lap car just kind of hanging out in the middle of the track right now. And here he is right in the middle. The leaders are going to have to split the lap car. The lap car gets into the side of the 5. Chris McLean almost loses it. Able to hold on to it, but he's going to lose the lead because of the lap car. I don't know how much damage that did to that 5, as we see Jerry Kershaw going around. Jerry on fresh tires, and we see that 5 truck is not happy with Mike Morcred right now. As now Daniel Stewart is trying to come up into the mix as well. But Eddie Smith now smooth sailing as he's pulled away from over a second and a half lead over McLean. A little further back, we got a battle going on back here with Tracy Passons trying to get around Travis Bieber, and Tracy up 9 positions from the start here, breaking his way into the top 5. See Jamie Burrell in this battle as well. So a tough break for Chris McLean. It looked like he had a dominant truck so far in the early running of the race, only to have a lap truck make some contact with him, and hopefully it's not enough damage to ruin his night, as he's starting to fall back into the clutches of the 09 of Daniel Stewart running in 3rd. And this time when Eddie Smith crosses the line here, coming off turn 4, as he crossed flags at the start-finish line, as we are now halfway through the race. I imagine we'll be starting to see some green flag pit stops pretty soon, as Greg Froelich has just pit. Steve Ludwig, our points leader, has pit as well. You see him in the picture just behind Eddie here, trying to get his lap back. And you can see just how much different these fresh tires are making. Stacy Passons Adcock says, keep moving on up, Tracy. Paul Passion says, let's go, Tracy. As again, Tracy's popped himself up into the top 5. And at the moment, he is the fastest truck on track that has not pit yet. So Tracy Passon's able to move himself through the field and having a great run here. Trying to pass Steve Loving for the points lead. As Steve's having a rough night. And Jason Rockefeller also having a rough night. So 2 of our points leaders not having the best of nights, although Rockefeller has made himself way back up into the 11th position. You see a battle right in front of him between Adam Lang and Joshua Thompson. Now this becomes a 4-car battle as Jeremy Burrell way off the pace there. Looks like his truck's really starting to get tight on this long run. And we almost got 3 wide behind as Joshua Thompson forces Rockefeller up the track. See Greg Froelich down there in the 11. He is on fresh tires. And again, you're starting to see just what a difference fresh tires can make here. It's Greg Froelich trying to move around them all. Adam Lang and Travis Bieber battling side by side still. It looks like Lang is going to have the advantage here. So put him in the 7th position. And now Chris McLean under fire from the 09 of Daniel Stewart. Trying to take over that 2nd position. And Stewart and McLean been running pretty much identical lap times for the last few laps. Oh, do you want to go this way? You can see almost identical lap times for these guys the last few laps. Neither truck with a defined advantage here. So McLean's still working that little 1 lane up there to keep the momentum up off the corner. And I don't see anybody else really able to use that line with any success. So he's found something that no one else really has even ventured into. Well, that's been going on. Eddie Smith has continued to stretch his lead, and he's almost up to a 4-second lead over Chris McLean. And now Stewart up to the high side, saw what that 5 truck was doing, and he jumps up to the high side to force Chris McLean down into a lower line as McLean is coming to pit road. I think he said that he's had enough with the damage. Knows that he can make it to the end from here. So he might as well come down, get 4 tires, get a fresh truck. Get back out there and hope for a yellow. Speaking of hoping for a yellow, here's a mess of cars right here. We've got Michael Kosick, Jamie Barreau, Eric Burkhalter, Fry Hubbard, Joshua Thompson. All under a blanket here. Also, looks like Brandon Pollock. Oh, I take that back. Not Pollock, but Joshua Thompson. That's the 73 of Ryan Huff, who is currently a lap down. Eddie Smith hitting pit road along with Jonah Kober. Eric Burkhalter on the pit road. Joshua Thompson, Travis Bieber. So a lot of cars heading on the pit road right now. And Adam Lang is going to take over the lead as Daniel Stewart and Jamie Mullins, Tracy Parsons, Rockefeller, Michael Kosick, all on pit road as well. Let's see if we can see where Eddie Smith back out on track. Just coming off of turn number 4, Chris McLean, not too far behind. So that lead that Eddie Smith had over Chris McLean is actually shrunk. So McLean able to get on and off of pit road much better, as Eddie Smith's lead has shrank down to just under 3 seconds. Adam Lang, though, continues to stay out on track as Fry Hubbard now hitting pit road. So Adam Lang still staying out on track. So a few trucks have yet to pit. Adam Lang being one of them. Ryan Derrick, Aaron Mack, Ricky Montgomery all have yet to pit. Brandon Pollock sitting in second. He pit on lap 16 under one of the yellows just to take fuel. But he just hits pit road now. Keith Miller out there. He's pit on lap 15 along with Phil Manzo. You see Eddie Smith driving around the 52 to get his lap back. That's going to put Chris McLean being the first truck one lap down. Well, he's not too much farther behind Adam Lang here. And when it all cycles out, Eddie Smith is going to have about a 2.5 second lead over Chris McLean. As Aaron Mack comes to pit road in that 31 machine. And Adam Lang out on those old tires. You can see here comes the 5 getting his lap back, trying to get around Kleeman. Kleeman running back down in the 24th position, 1 lap down. We saw some smoke there from trucks trying to get onto pit road. And looks like somebody missed pit road there. But Adam Lang continues to lead. While that's been going on, Eddie Smith is continuing to cut into... Chris McLean is continuing to cut into Eddie Smith's what would be lead. As he is under 2 seconds behind Eddie Smith now. And Adam Lang, I'm surprised he's still out on track, still holding on. Looks like he's holding out here for a yellow. We know he's been fast on older tires, and he's still out there running 24/20s. But when you compare that to the leaders, Eddie Smith just ran a 23:88. So realistically, not too far off the pace. But here comes Lang now onto pit road. That's going to give the lead to the 7 of Ryan Derrick in that Clemson machine. It looks like Derrick is going to stay out another lap as he gets passed on both sides by, I see the 74 of Jamie Burrell and 33 of Joshua Thompson. Here comes the 68 of Steve McDonald right on by. So Ryan Derrick still holding on to that lead for now, and he's looks like he's going to stay out at least one more lap. Ricky Montgomery, oh, looked like he was trying to get them down the pit road. Gets turned. Down on the apron, but gets it back rolling. So no caution as he is down on the apron, gets it refired and gets back out on track. And after he just spun, I'm sure those tires are going to be hot. So I have to make sure that he doesn't lose it here coming off of turn number 2. See that truck wiggling just a little bit. I imagine he's going to be heading for pit road right here, which he does. Get it down to pit road speed. And Ricky Montgomery into the pits. Here comes Ryan Derrick into the pits. That's going to give the lead back to Eddie Smith, with Keith Miller still out there as well, sitting back in second. But it looks like Miller's going to be eaten up here by the 05 of McLean. As we see that 05 just motor right around that 29 machine on those old tires. And 2.5 seconds separate our leader from second place. But Eddie Smith coming up into some thick lap traffic here. He's coming up on the 48 of Andy Kurtz. Andy Kurtz is the last truck on the lead lap. And his lap traffic going to play a part here as the yellow flag is out. As we see John Schmiel up on his roof in turn 4. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. And it looks like Tracy Passon's involved in this one as well. So, see if we can see what happened here. We see Schmiel. Oh, just gets tight up into the side of Passons. Makes hard contact with the wall, and Schmiel. Oh, it's got that iRacing glitch where the wall just grabs you. Sends him up and over on his roof. See what happened to Passons here as we see Passons just up on the outside. Yeah, we see the 50 just lose traction, spin out, and not a lot of damage to that 53, fortunately. So it looks like Tracy's going to be able to, now actually we look at it now, a lot more damage to that machine than we first thought. Let's take a look, see if we can right in close with this machine. Yeah, quite a bit of damage to this 50 machine, so hopefully you can get it fixed up and get back out there. And Fry Hubbard is going to take over the lead. It looks like Hubbard stayed out. Eddie Smith and Chris McLean came in and pit here to get fresh tires. So tough break for Tracy Passons. Looks like he's going to lose at least a lap here. It looks like he's back out on track with a fresh truck, so he did take a reset. And he's currently sitting back in the 13th position on the lead lap, so actually in a lot better position than I thought he was in. Adam Lang, who stayed out, tried to pull a little bit of a gamble, and made it work out, trying to get some track position, and he's going to be sitting here in the second position. So great run here for Lang. As we mentioned, Eddie Smith is going to be restarting third on the inside line, kind of where you want to be if you're not the leader. Chris McLean going to be restarting in fourth. Daniel Stewart having a great, fantastic run tonight. Sitting in fifth, Jonah Cobert making a great run up to the front here, running in sixth. Jamie Mullins in seventh. Phil the Hitman Manzo roll around eighth right now. Jason Rockefeller in ninth, and Joshua Thompson round out your top 10. Don't forget to join us after this one's over for another exciting 118 lap race from Iowa Speedway here, as the original Rebels Truck Series will be taken on the track. Sunday night trucks are always a fun group of guys to watch. Not that these guys aren't, but it's great to watch this doubleheader. It's something I look forward to every week. See a couple trucks taking the wave around. Fry Hubbard's going to be restarting here on the inside line with Adam Lang to the outside. Then Eddie Smith and Chris McLean in the second row. So here we go. Fry Hubbard on the bottom side, Adam Lang on the high side. Pace truck is off. Green flag's back in the air. A great jump for Fry Hubbard. Adam Lang trying to move down in front of Eddie Smith, but not able to do it. Smith is going to take over that second position. Here comes Chris McLean. Was looking to the outside of Adam Lang, but now he's going to look down to the inside of that Ball State machine, trying to take over third position. Just not quite able to get there yet. Here's the 9 of Daniel Stewart. We got a big one in the back. Charlie Gates around. James Jones. We see Steve McDonald involved in this one as well. And that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. As we know, cautions breed cautions, and we're seeing that right now. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened here. Steve McDonald here on the outside. Oh, McDonald just loses it all by himself right in front of James Jones. James turns hard left to try to avoid it. Comes down. Right down. I'm not sure who that is. Here comes the 7 of Ryan Derrick involved. We saw the 1 machine of Brandon Pollock involved as well. And the 55 of Charlie Gates Jr. caught up in this one as well. So just nowhere to go for a couple guys getting caught up in something that's not their doing. And Fry Hubbard's going to have to do another restart here. Take a look off the back of the pace truck here. Oh, I take that back. That's Fry Hubbard. And Eddie Smith there in second. Try to get some different views here. Something we don't normally see. Take a look at our biggest mover through the field so far. Actually, that's going to be the 52 of Adam Lang, up 25 spots. Then Jason Rockefeller, up 23 spots. A couple other big movers through the field. Jonah Kober, up 15 spots. Fry Hubbard, up 18 spots. Keith Miller, up 15 spots. So a few drivers having some big moves through the field. As we're getting ready to re-rack, restack, and refire here at Iowa. Lights on the pace truck are still on, so I believe we'll be going one more lap before we get back to green flag racing, as we're going to have just under 20 laps to go. We'll have 19 to go when they cross the line this time. So just 19 short laps to settle it here. With now Eddie Smith starting on the high side. Is that going to be an advantage for Adam Lang? Can Adam get a good jump here? Move himself around Eddie Smith to get a shot at Fry Hubbard to take this one away. Fry Hubbard. Looks like he's might take the high side here on this restart. And he does. So that's interesting, as we've seen that high lane not work all night long, but then again, being the leader, he's got the opportunity to choose when to go and try to catch Eddie Smith off guard, or even cause Eddie Smith to jump the start here and get a black flag with a little sportsmanship. So we'll see what kind of restart Fry Hubbard has here as we're re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire. Waiting for that pace truck to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Fry Hubbard back to the gas. Green flag in the air. Great jump on that high side. Maybe he knew something that I didn't know. That's going to keep Eddie Smith trapped on the bottom. Here comes Chris McLean looking to the outside, but not able to make that work as they come off of turn number 2, and Fry Hubbard's going to hold on to the lead for now. His yellow flag is out. Daniel Stewart. Saw him saying he had some issues here. Steve McDonald again involved, and let's bring up the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind to see if we can figure out what happened here. Well, looks like Stewart loses it all by himself underneath Jonah Kober. Overcorrects it back to the right. We've seen this a couple times tonight. Right up in front of Michael Kosik, who gets around. Tracy Passons also getting around right there. So some heads-up driving from those guys. Then Barossa Jr. just drives into the back, and more credit involved in that as well. We're just going to rewind a little bit, see if we can see who else that was involved in this. And that looks like just those 3 trucks involved. I know Steve McDonald was involved in this somehow as well. Let's take a look at Steve McDonald here. Now just trying to get woed up, and spins out by himself to avoid Barossa Jr. And yeah, just nowhere's for Barossa to go. We'll take a look at from his onboard here. Yeah, you just see nothing he could really do there. So a tough break for all those involved, but a great job by Tracy Passons to avoid it. And I'm actually going to one last view of this I want to see is I want to ride along with Tracy Passons here so we can get a little view here of what he saw as him and Kosick here barely avoid the spinning car, and there it is right there. So Fry Hubbard continues to lead over Eddie Smith. Paul Paston says, let's go, Tracy. Come on, Tracy. Oh, Fry Hubbard coming to pit road, possibly? No, he's going to fake it. He's going to stay out. And Paul says, you're doing a good job calling the race. I do appreciate that. I try to do my best here, especially with these double headers. They get a little long, but they're fun to call, especially with these two groups of guys. I look forward to it every week. So Fry Hubbard continues to lead here. And we'll have to see if Fry chooses the outside again, which he does, as we see the lights are off on the pace truck. Again, Eddie Smith on the outside, or inside, excuse me. Then Adam Lang starting in third with, Adam Lang starting in fourth. Chris McLean to his inside. Can Chris get back up to the front here after dominating so much of the race before making some contact with the lap car? Fry Hubbard getting a good jump again. He is on a little bit older tires. About 15 lap older tires than the cars behind him. As the pace truck pulls off, get ready to go back green flag racing. Fry Hubbard back to the gas again. Another great jump for Hubbard on that high side. Green flag back in the air. And Chris McLean trying to get around that 52 as here comes Eddie Smith on the high side. And here comes Chris McLean down to the bottom. They're 3 wide right behind the leader. McLean down on the bottom trying to do everything he can to get around Hubbard to get a shot here at Eddie Smith as we have just 11 laps to go here. Chris McLean using a little side draft there trying to get around Hubbard. And while these guys are racing side by side, it's allowing Eddie Smith to just stretch his legs as we see Kober coming around, and yellow flag is back out. It looks like the 114 of Travis Bieber was involved in this one as we see him spun around here, trying to get it refired. That's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look and see what happened to Bieber here. All just slides up in front of Joshua Thompson. Thompson comes back down to the bottom. Oh, Bieber gets up into the wall as they go 3 wide. And I don't think Bieber knew that they were 3 wide there. as he kind of came down on Thompson. Thompson came up, just two trucks making contact. And that 114 makes hard contact with the outside wall. Fortunately, every other truck is able to avoid him. And we see Bieber going down onto pit road to get that truck fixed up to salvage a finishing position here. And isn't this look familiar? The 87 and the 05 side by side for a restart. Eddie Smith and Chris McLean. As Greg Froelich will be your lucky dog here. Put him onto the lead lap. I saw the red lights on pit road, which indicate we might be going back green flag racing in a lap. Let's see if the lights shut off on the pace truck. Nope, they stay on, so we'll go at least one more here. So here we go. We're going to get the lights off on the pace truck this time by. Eddie Smith is going to take the low side with Chris McLean restarting on the high side. Then Pry Hubbard restarting in third. Adam Lang fourth. Jonah Kober in fifth. Jamie Mullins, Rockefeller sitting back in seventh. Jamie Barol in eighth. Joshua Thompson ninth. And Michael Kosick back in 10th. As the lights on the pace truck are still on. So it looks like we are going to go one more lap here. I think we might have extended the caution to get things situated towards the back of the pack. And every caution lap is exactly what Eddie Smith wants to see. And every caution lap is not what Chris McLean wants to see. As it looks like Eddie Smith might be looking to the high side here for this restart. So after dominating restarts down on the bottom all night long, looks like he's going to try a restart on the high side. I hope this doesn't hurt him. So when we come across the line this time, we'll have just 5 laps to settle it out, barring any green-white checkers here. As Eddie Smith is going to lead him back to the restart zone. Pace truck makes the hard left-hand turn. Green flag's back in the air. Eddie Smith gets a great jump. Chris McLean, though, able to see that jump and try to stay right there with him. Here comes Adam Lang. Lang up into the third position. As they come off of turn number 2. Does Chris McLean have enough here to get up and take that lead back from Eddie Smith? 4 laps to go. We got a battle behind. As Jonah Kober is battling with Jamie Barol. You see that battle on the side of the screen there. Adam Lang was trying to look to the high side. Can Fry Hubbard make a move here to get himself up into the top 3? Lang looking down to the bottom. Pushes up the track, not able to get there. 3 laps to go here at Iowa. Couple drivers battling hard a little further back as we saw Colbert, Jeremy Burrell still side by side, battling for position. Oh, we got a big wreck in the back, huge wreck. Bieber around, Ryan Derrick around, the 22 involved of Ricky Montgomery, and this is going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind. See if we can see exactly what brought this one out here. As Travis Bieber down on the bottom. Oh, we see, whoa, did not want to do that. Let's rewind that. I meant to hit slow motion, not fast motion. So we see a couple trucks up in front. We see the 7 and the 09. That's Daniel Stewart and the 7 Ryan Derrick both lose it. Synchronized spinning here. Off of turn number 2. Bieber gets hit by the 29. 29 comes up into Matt Kleeman. See our points leader, Steve Loving, just able to sneak through there. And then right behind, a couple more trucks come sliding in. Let's take a look at this from a little different view here. It just happens so fast here. Hard contact for that 114. You see Jerry Kershaw involved as well. Steve McDonald. Well, that changes everything. That's going to bring up our first attempt at a green-white checker, with Eddie Smith going to be your leader. And at the moment, Adam Lang is still your Ray Cobb hard charger, sitting back in 3rd, up 25 spots from the beginning of the race. So with just 3 laps to go, is Eddie Smith going to take the high side again? Did he like what he saw up there? Is he going to make a move down the bottom, try to keep McLean up on the high side? We've seen McLean kind of like the high side, so maybe that's Eddie's reason for choosing it. Try to keep McLean pinched down on the bottom. Another restart here for Adam Lang to try to move himself into the 2nd position. Have a great points night, as well as we saw last week. Using that strategy to get himself up to the front. Bring it home in 5th. And see if he can get himself up into the podium this week. Another great run. So again, I believe the lights on the pace truck should be shutting off this time. And for the pass and screw, I know you want to know, Tracy currently sitting back in the 10th position. Looking to get himself back up towards the front. Lights on the pace truck are off. Eddie Smith again taking that high lane, pinching Chris McLean down on the bottom. Fry Hubbard sitting back in the 4th position. Adam Lang down there on the bottom in third, so we'll see. What kind of run we can have here to the finish. Hopefully we only get one attempt at this green-white checker, but they can do up to 3. As the pace truck is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Eddie Smith back to the restart zone. Green flags in the air. And again, a great jump from Eddie Smith. As Adam Lang now looking down to the inside, trying to take that second position away, but just not able to get there. As Eddie Smith is just pulling away from McLean. They come off of turn number 4. Eddie Smith will see the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go. McLean 0.3 back behind. Jonah Comer, James Jones crash. Fry Hubbard involved as well. Big wreck on the backstretch. Does not matter. As the green flag stays out, Eddie Smith comes off of turn number 4, sees the checker flag, and your winner tonight, Eddie Smith, with Chris McLean, Adam Lang, Jamie Burrell, Jason Rockefeller coming home in 5th, Tracy Passions, Michael Kosick, Andy Kurtz, Burkhalter, and Jamie Mullins rounding out the rest of the field, and we see the pileup on the backstretch. Let's take a quick look to see what happened to Jonah Comer here. Jonah we want to be seeing here, the 34, pushed up the track. Hubbard, Hubbard and Jonah make hard contact down the front stretch. And then Hubbard, You see James Jones caught up in this. Let's go back and see what happened to Jones here. As Fry Hubbard comes down across the track. Yeah, just nowheres for these guys to go, but Eddie Smith comes home with the win. Let's take a look at our results. Let's get Eddie Smith, your winner. Chris McLean, Adam Lang, Jeremy Burrell, Rockefeller, Tracy Passions, Michael Kosick, Andy Kurtz, Eric Burkhalter, and Jamie Mullins make up your top 10. Phil the Hitman Manzo having a great run at 11th with Aaron Mack in 12th. Greg Frona comes back for a 13th place finish. Charlie Gates Jr. in 14th. And Brandon Pollock round out your top 15. As we get ready to talk to our 3rd place finisher, Adam Lang. Adam, you got Josh in the booth. You got me? Adam, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, great run last week. Using a little strategy to come back for a 5th place finish. Fastest car on the track last week on old tires. This week, kind of pull the same strategy to get yourself in position and get yourself up in the top 3 for a podium. A great run yet again. Was that the strategy once you knew this race was starting to go green flag?
No, not really. I was just, I suck at qualifying, so then I have to drive through the field. And if I could just qualify, then I wouldn't have to worry about, trying to do something on strategy. So maybe next week I can actually put a decent qualifying lap down.
Yeah, you noticed the last 2 weeks you've had some struggles, if you will, with qualifying. And I know that's going to give you the Ray Cobb Hard Charger Award. And, is that what you've been going for the last 2 weeks, that award for the Hard Charger? Because I think you won it 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks in a row, but no, I was been outside of top 16 in points. I'm trying to get back in top 16 in points just to be ready for when it comes down to playoffs and just actually have a shot at championship. And if I have to drive by everybody every week, I guess that's how I'm going to do it.
For sure. Well, again, congratulations on the podium tonight, sitting back in 3rd. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hit my button. Well, great job on that podium tonight. And before we let you go, is there any shout out you got to give? Anyone you want to thanks?
Yeah, I gotta thank my wife for allowing me to do this on Sunday night, and Intensity Broadcasting for broadcasting, and definitely Ball State for being on the truck this week.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the third place finish. And I'm sure as the season goes on, we'll be talking to you again soon.
Hopefully, thank you.
So that was your third place finisher, Adam Lang. Let's see if we can find our second place finisher. I'm seeing if he is in the Discord at all. There he is, Chris McLean. I'm going to pull him right in. Hey, Chris, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I do.
Man, congratulations on that second place finish. Bit of a heartbreak as you led most of the beginning of the race. Got caught up in some trouble with some lap traffic, but still able to come home in second place. Did you expect the run to go green flag as long as it did, and were you hoping to get something on those green-white checkers there at the end?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun racing with Eddie. He's a good, clean racer, and I was surprised it went green as long as it did, or I'd have came down a little earlier, and I had a little damage after that little incident with a lap car, and it had me down on a little bit of speed, but it wasn't too bad. I kept Eddie in sight, and I knew it was going to come down. I had to get on and off pit road pretty good and without speeding, and I managed to do that. I picked up a second on Eddie, and just hoping for a caution, and I finally got it. But it's hard to generate a run here at Iowa in 2 to 3 laps, and it seemed like that's all we had there at the end.
Yeah, and going back to that incident with the lap car, was that just miscommunication, or was it just hard racing and you just didn't know what was going on as you guys were side by side at that point racing?
I was actually going back to check it out. I don't know. He held me up getting in. He didn't decide where he wanted to go to the last second. I almost got into the back of him, and I thought he was going to let me get by him once I got under him, and he throttled up. And I don't know if he came down on me or if I came up, but I was just trying to use as much of the track as I could to try to catch Eddie, and we ended up getting together. I don't know what caused it really, but I hadn't looked at it yet.
Well, again, a great run coming home in second place tonight. Before you let you go, anybody you want to thank? Anybody you got to thank tonight, or any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, One Up Motorsports, all they do, brought me into it and taught me a lot. And Po Man Racing, Apex, all you guys in the booth, y'all do a great job. It's a fun league. I don't get to run it very often because of work and stuff, but when I do, it's always a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium, and I'm sure next race we'll probably talk to you again.
Thank you.
So that was your second place finisher, Chris McLean. But let's talk to the man of the hour for the second week in a row, Eddie Smith. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, great way to go 2 in a row. Last week in Kentucky, this week in Iowa. I mean, a great race. You and Adam were running real well there at the front until the lap traffic started to get heavy and hectic in front of you. Were you expecting the lap cars to run you that hard there? When I know Chris got some damage there from the lappers.
Yeah, I always expect it. I think lap cars. I don't know. I'm not just trying to say this. I've always believed this, that lap cars have every right to race, and I think it was. I think we kind of surprised. I went back and looked at it. And for some reason I thought I was going to get low and Chris was going to have to check up, but the lap car gave him room on the outside, and I didn't realize it till we were 3 wide, and it looks like the lap car wasn't ready for it either, and came down, and we just kind of got contact. But yeah, I don't have any problem with that, and I thought everybody was real respectful and whatnot. So I just hate that me and Chris. I mean, we were side by side for probably felt like 5 or 6 laps. So I hated that happened, but it was a lot of fun racing him.
Yeah, that was an incredible run there. It just seemed like you could not get around him as he was running. Looked like about a lane up higher than you. Was the high lane starting to come in there towards the end of the race, or was it just something that he was able to roll a little bit better than anybody else here tonight?
Yeah, I think as the tires start to wear out, the truck gets tighter, and you really, like off 3 and 4, you really have to use the whole track to come off the corner, even if you run the bottom. And I always like to run the bottom. So I think once the tires had gotten wore out, I was able to get runs on him, off of 2 really good. And then, of course, he'd be high in 3 and 4. And I'd just get up under him. And I really wasn't trying to push it. I didn't want to push the issue and get tight and get up into him. So I was just trying to take it easy and just try to take my runs. And if he got tight and had to lift, I'd take advantage of it. So we were just trying to be patient and having a good race. And once we got side by side, it was it was a blast. So I just hate that happened. I think we could have gone 10, 15 more.
For sure. That was a great race to call and a lot of fun up here to watch. And before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give?
Shout out to Chris, Adam, Fry, and Jonah Colbert. Good race tonight, and thanks for broadcasting, Josh.
I appreciate it, and congrats again on the win. And I'm sure if it continues on, we'll talk to you again soon. And about 2 weeks? We're taking next week off, so hopefully we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
All right, man. Awesome. Thanks.
So there is your winner, Eddie Smith. As we take a look at the end of the results here, as we didn't get a chance to look at 16th on back. It's going to be Keith Miller. It's 16th, Ryan Derrick. 17th, Joshua Thompson. Coming home 18th, Fry Hubbard, Jonah Colbert, James Jones, Matt Kleeman, Steve Loving having an awful run tonight, unfortunately, falling back to 23rd, which is going to hurt his points tonight, but a long season left to stay in that top 16. So Steve McDonald, Ricky Montgomery, Jerry Kershaw, Ryan Huff, Travis Bieber, and then Daniel Stewart, Mike Barossa Jr., Mike Morcrid, John Schmiel, Colton Lanford, Matt Knights, and Tevin Whitner round out the field here tonight at Iowa. Again, join us back here in about 20 minutes time for our second run. We're going to have the OGs, the Original Rebels Sunday Night Truck Series, this league that started them all. Just got note from Matt Geis that Tracy Pastons will actually be running in the second race tonight, so look out for him. Again, running with his nephew there, Aaron Adcock, so it'll be great to see Tracy in the second race here. We'll see how his stamina is and if he can get a win in the next one. But again, my name's Josh Hall. Thanks for joining us here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitch, don't forget about the eRacing TV app there on your Fire Stick and your Roku. Join us again in about 20 minutes, and as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say,